I don't know if I told you the story, but I got one of those batteries,
Oh
Falcon
yeah,
9,
from the Falcon 9.
and
Yeah, you
and
sent me the photo.
I was gonna put a video or whatever, and then next thing I know, SpaceX is like, "Hey, listen, this is like big deal stuff. You might not want to do that. In fact, can we go pick it up right now?"
Oh
So I'm
shit.
like, "Okay." So they sent two agents out here.
They're like, yo, just give me an invite to the next launch, okay? We'll call it
So
even.
I was like, just because they were like, look, if you do make another video, we might have to get all the CIA, the FBI, the all these
Because it's
other the no, yeah, because this is highly protected hardware. This is essentially
yep.
like an ICBM.
Well, it's government secrets, right? And space stuff I
essentially.
know is protected at like an extra layer of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
in like the 60s, there were all
No
these laws
civilian
passed
should
about
have this. This is like prohibited from civilian hands.
it. So who'd you steal it from?
Someone just sent it to me. I mean, it
You're
was in
just
the
walking
wrong
across the
pallet.
street. Hey, look at that.
They were saying that it was stolen, but it wasn't stolen. It was a legitimate mistake. I think just it was on the wrong pallet. It got to the wrong person. They didn't know what to do
Got
with it.
it.
They're like, send it to this other guy, and that other guy ended up sending it to me and a few other YouTubers, right? But that's the crazy thing is that I thought they were gonna send some crazy like scary people to come pick it up. These were like top security officers at SpaceX, right? I don't
It's
know
like
what
a
that means.
Postmates guy just shows up.
No, so I looked them up because I was nervous. I was legitimately nervous. I'm like, oh man, are these guys gonna be like nasty with me? They didn't. They sounded really nice on the phone. So then we looked them up, and they're like ex-military guys. So I'm like, okay, they sound legit people, but they come in here. They're nicest guys. They're super. I thought they were not gonna know anything about the tech, right?
Yeah.
Because they're security officers. They're guys that are whatever. They're in charge of
Yeah, yeah,
security. They knew everything. They knew Starlink. They told me that they inside they are using it. They're telling me like some
Nice.
details. They're playing video games. They're telling me how many stations they have operational up to that date. That was like a month and a half ago. So I don't know. That stuff changes highly. It was really crazy experience. He
That's
stayed
cool.
here like 2 hours talking to me in the parking lot as they were like taking the battery apart.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They
What
took
was
it.
that battery for? It was for the grid fan or something, or
No,
you know?
that the grid fan battery needs to be giant. It's an actual like car-sized battery. In
Yeah.
fact, the first one they used in one of those hoppers was, I think, in unmodified or
Model
or,
3.
Yeah, it's like slightly modified Model 3, right? So it needs
Yeah.
because those are big motors.
Yeah.
This battery was for electronics. It was a tiny one. I think it had like 8 cells inside, 18650s. I couldn't tell because it was built like a freaking tank. I actually took it apart, and it was on a PCB board, which people make fun of me because I use PCBs for my batteries.
Yeah.
And now I
And
find
you're
out
like,
that-
hey, look at these
There we
guys.
go.
They're doing it.
right, if
That's
it's
awesome.
good enough to go to space, and then it was potted into this like housing, aluminum house. It was crazy. It was like super engineered. It was really cool, actually.
So,
to experiment.
how excited are you or not to see the new Lucid battery?
I don't even know about it. What's the new battery? Is that
Yes,
is
Lucid
that
Air.
new tech?
Yeah, Lucid Air, their official unveiling September 9th. I may or may not have got to see it up close already.
Oh, okay.
And so the public stuff they've shared that's pretty incredible is it has 517 miles of range
Okay. Fine.
on
But
a 100
that's achievable.
113 kilowatt hours.
113, 500. Oh, that's actually pretty.
It's like
Good
4.6
efficiency.
miles per kilowatt hour. And
pretty good
it's better than the 3 by 0.3 and it's better than the S by 0.6. But the footprint of the car is a bit smaller than the Model S.
Okay.
So they're able to get 13 more kilowatt hours in there in a smaller footprint.
But is it heavier? We don't know anything about the battery. Do we know anything about the battery? Do we know what the weight?
There will be details coming out soon.
Okay.
I can't share.
I'm not
But know this. So, do you know who the CEO, CTO is?
of Lucid. No.
Yeah. Peter Rawlinson,
Peter Rawlinson.
chief engineer that designed the Model S.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So this dude knows his stuff.
Peter
And
Rawlinson. Okay,
All I got to
so-
say is like I think anyone that's into battery tech is going to be super impressed once they unveil this more.
I think so. I'm waiting for battery day
Yeah.
anxiously. But here's the thing. I think you know how you said that Tesla is so far ahead in the autonomy driving realm, right? And I 100% agree with you. There are a ton of like these YouTubers that are going on camera and saying, "Oh, Tesla's so far up ahead, like miles ahead of everyone in the battery." And I'm like, "Where is that?" There's absolutely there's absolutely no evidence to that. Like the batteries that they're on the Model 3, they're like a tiny bit better than what's out there from every other manufacturer that's available.
So what is Tesla's real thing then? Because I still don't fully grasp how it all works, but the more I hang out with Michael up at EV West, the more I absorb. Because you have the battery, and then you have the BMS, the thing that controls what happens there, and then you have several control units, like a VCU or something like that.
Yeah,
and then and then you have the motor that actually spins the wheels. So where is Tesla's, like, from your perspective, where is Tesla's like secret sauce? Like, what have they done really, really well that is far and above?
There's
None
no
of it?
secret sauce, dude. They're actually
The whole
taking-
packaging of it, like,
Yeah, I think it's that they're the only ones doing it. Like no one else is trying to pack 80 kilowatt hours of battery in a car. It's nothing. Like anyone could have done it. Someone could have done it 10 years ago. Those batteries are literally the same batteries that they shipped in the 2012.
yeah, right. Well, and it's the AC propulsion guys that with the T0 or whatever, right?
T0.
That's what Tesla
Well, they were
licensed for
pioneering-
the Roadster.
They were pioneering the motor technology. So the three-phase AC induction motor technology. It was kind of hard to use. It was a variable frequency drive. That's what it's called. It's kind of rare in the commercial space. Like so, usually big giant motors don't need to vary their speed. They can, they can run this like at constant speed. So there wasn't a need. There weren't like wide in the market versions of this variable frequency drive. And so these guys started experimenting with their own. It was not hard to do. All you need is 3 big MOSFETs, and that will oscillate at like crazy, at 8,000, 8 kilohertz or something like that. It's nothing. There's no magic. It's just they executed it. It's the execution.
So it really is like the iPhone of cars then.